Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It's Sunday night. Yes, Sunday night already. How did it get to Sunday night? I don't know either. We've had hurricanes this week, missing women, all sorts of things happening this week. It's been a very crazy week in the streaming world. Hey, Rachel, you changed your display photo. Good to see you. Hey, Shock and Gayla, Rachel, Natasha, Gambler, Marilyn Landis, Mr. DJ, who now lives in an oven, and Kathy, good to see you. Marilyn, Penguin's here. Hey, Penguin, good to see you. Annika's here. Annika, I had a really, really nice girlfriend when I was younger who was called Annika. She was from France or something like that. Long story. I'll tell it sometime. Lynn D, good to see you. Wendy R is here. Who else? I don't know where Danny is. Danny may have died. We don't know where he is. Texas Roadrunner, good to see you. Happy to have you here. So, hey, Shock. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss you. And Mamma Mia. All right. So, yeah, as I said in the start of the show, I updated the video as promised for the people who are members and donators. I went back till September and I took everyone's name that I could find and I put them in the video because I felt bad that the people from this month were getting it, but the people from last month were not. And I was like, I'll just catch everyone up. So I put everyone's name in there to make it fair. So I've done that. If you did a donation last month, your name will be in there. And yeah, you'll see it at the end of the video. Hey, Peekaboo Cockatiel, how are you? Hope you had a good birthday last week. All right, let's get into true crime. We got a lot of true crime to get to tonight. No more housekeeping. No more housekeeping. All right. So apparently her family released a statement today. No, she has not been located. She's been missing for quite a while now. She's been out there, what is it, over a week or so? She went missing last Sunday, so about a week. They're saying here she's been missing since the 6th of October. That was last Sunday, from an address at the corner of East Olmos Drive and Shook Avenue on the north side. And they say she's 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing around 140 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes, and was last seen wearing a black knee-length dress, black high heels that she may have taken off. She's a mum of 4 and was at the Argyle in Alamo Heights before her disappearance. When they were at the Argyle, she was in an argument with her husband. They then went home, and neighbors witnessed her husband physically assault her and restrain her during the continuation of the argument. So, and now she's missing. So where is she? I don't know. I hope they find her. But her family's released a statement on her. I'm going to play a video, then we'll read about it.
Continuing coverage of missing mother Suzanne Simpson. Today, her brother...
Hold on. They're going to make us go to a different screen. They do this sometimes.
Her brother-in-law, Barton Simpson, releasing a statement 1 week after her disappearance. It says they are immensely grateful for the extraordinary efforts of law enforcement and extend a special thank you to the Olmos City Police Chief. They also say they're thankful for the support of the community and continue on to say, quote, as you attend church this morning, please keep Suzanne's children in your prayers.
Right now, News 4 San Antonio's Stephanie Escabel explains search efforts for Suzanne Simpson have shifted.
That's right. Stephanie joins us live to help better explain. Steph, good evening.
Well, Mandy, Jonathan, the Texas Department of Public Safety confirms that the search for Suzanne Simpson is no longer focused in Olmos Park, and Texas DPS has been searching areas right here in Kendall County. Suzanne's husband, 53-year-old Brad Simpson, remains at the Bexar County Jail with 2 charges related to family violence and cannot post bail at this time due to a federal hold. Brad was arrested here in Kendall County on Wednesday and was at the Kendall County Jail before he was transferred to Bexar County. We did search public records, but no properties in Kendall County are registered to either Suzanne or her husband, Brad. Family and friends of Suzanne Simpson have been posting recent pictures of Suzanne to social media to make sure people know exactly what they're looking for. And of course, as more information becomes available, we will make sure to bring you the latest. Reporting live from Kendall County, Stephanie Escobar, News 4 San Antonio.
So you hear there that they expanded that search area and now searching the area where the husband was arrested. So he was arrested in Kendall County and then taken into custody on those 2 charges, currently being held in jail on a $2 million bond, $1 million for each charge. And then we learned the other day that now the feds have a hold on him. So should he make bail, they want to talk to him too. So they're gonna release him and get arrested should he make bail. The ATF also wants to speak to him as well. What do we know about killers? What do we know about people who kill other humans? And what do we know about where they put their victims? This is what we know. They try and work in places they've either been before or are comfortable with. Places that they think they won't get caught because they have an understanding of the area, or they've been there before, like maybe as a child, maybe their parents took them there. They're intimately familiar with the area, so they think in their mind they have a lesser chance of being discovered or disturbed. They say here neither his wife Suzanne nor the husband have any connection to Kendall County. But what else has he done in that area before? Why has he been there? Has he been there before? Does he have friends that live there? Do his parents live there? Did they used to take holidays there for some reason? Find out the reason he was in the county, and maybe it'll help find where Suzanne is. That's what I think. Shock says they're keeping him so he can't disappear. I'm sure he got rid of her. Definitely. He didn't have a lot of time. The neighbor reported that he left and came back within about 2 hours on that Sunday night. So he only has about an hour in each direction to go. And we had a quick look about like where could he have got to? And it's not like, I mean, it is a large area, but it's not there's a lot of bushland in that 1 hour radius around the town, but you would think maybe the police would be working under the same assumption that he couldn't have got too far. Yeah, I don't think she's all that far away. I think they just got to figure it out. But we had a look at the county at the time. There's a lot of bushland around there. Danny gifted a membership, by the way. Thank you very much, Danny. I really appreciate it. And it went to, did it go to Brenda? It did. Thank you, Brenda. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your subscription. It lasts 30 days, and then I think they discontinue after 30 days. Yeah, I can show you the Almost Park area. Let me see if I can find that radius thing again. Yeah, 1 hour radius. Here we go. So this is not the greatest one I know of, but it's okay. All right. So this is what it gives me. Now, ignore that a lot of these places are shops or whatever. It's just to give you a rough idea of a radial around the suburb. So this is where it tells me he could go in 1 hour, about this far. I'm not sure what's the furthest distance. 18, 17. I reckon he probably could have got a little further than that. 1 hour. 1 hour equal 100 miles. So let's try if we can redo that. All right. They reckon he probably could have got about this far in an hour. What do you guys think? They said 100 miles. Is that 100 miles from here to here? It could be. But as you can see, I know this is not the greatest map. Can we change the satellite? Yes, we can. So there's a lot of greenery, and there's a lot of people homes too. Look, there's a lot of homes. It's a residential, but there's a river. But if we zoom out a little bit, especially down near their suburb down here, there's a lot of bushland around here. Look, This is Almost Park, Texas. I had someone write into me that is from the area telling me that to live in this area, you sort of have to have a bit of money. It's not a cheap area, and most people who live in this suburb or Almos, or is it Alamo? Alamo next door, which is over this side, their houses are not cheap. And when you look at her property, you can tell like cost a few dollars. It's not exactly cheap, but there is a lot of bushland here between where where they went missing, where she went missing, where she was heard on the Sunday night at the back of her home, and where they've been searching. Like, there's a giant freeway that runs through here too, but there is a lot of bushland, and if you zoom out, there's more and more around. Like within that 1 hour radius, he could get, I don't know, anywhere. There's over here. This is not too far. There's strips of it everywhere. So where could she be hiding? I don't know. Where could he have put her? Anywhere in this radius around the suburb. 1 hour there, 1 hour back. That's about what the neighbor said, give and take maybe 20 minutes or something. But this is how far they reckon, well, the neighbors reckon he could have gotten. This about this far outside of the Almost Park. So there's quite a few directions he could have gone. Could have gone south, and I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to do from Almost Park to Kendall. Let's see. Almost Park to Kendall. No. Wanted to send me to Louisiana. I don't want to go to Louisiana right now. Okay, let's have a look. This is a little longer. I'm interested in this. If I can pull this up for you. Don't do that, you silly thing. All right, stop doing that. Fucking stupid Google Maps. So you can see here, Kendall County, Almost Park. Is this Almost Park, or is it giving me the wrong thing again? It hates it because I'm in Australia. I'm going to do it a different way through the maps. Hold on, everyone. Come on. Sorry, didn't mean to swear either. It's just these freaking Google Maps can be so finicky at times. All right, here we go. So it does work out in the equation that we're trying to work out. About 50 miles, Kendall County, and it's about an hour away. That works in the time frame that we have. We don't know if that's the correct time frame. We just know it's a time frame that the neighbors have given, saying that they saw him at the property. He disappeared for a while and then came back. About an hour. He was gone for about a couple of hours, but we all know that you have to go somewhere and come back, so you have to split the time into to make it there and back. That's the equation that we're looking at. So it is about an hour away. It is quite a while away. So they're from a northern suburb of San Antonio down here. This is where they were missing. This is where she's missing from, and they were last seen in Alamo Heights over here at the club at the Argyle, and then they're searching up here now in Kendall County. It is a little bit more rural out here by the looks of it. Yes, it is. You're seeing a lot more rural out here. The Guadalupe River. Okay. And yeah, you can see a lot more farming land, a lot more, yeah, open spaces, not as residential. And, what road was he arrested on? Let me check. Susan Clark Simpson. I-10. So he was on I-10. Let's have a look. Can we find I-10? There's 290. I-10 over here. So he was somewhere probably around here then, if this is Kendall County. So this is the 10. So he was arrested in his vehicle. So this is I-10. It has a blue national symbol for 10 and then another one for 87. Hold on, let me look. I-10. Oh, Interstate 10. Yeah. So that's a east-west road. That's why an interstate. Okay. With an even number. I'm learning slowly, people. I'm learning slowly. So that's an east-west road. Sort of. There's the 10 out of Houston, comes up through here and heads through Fort Stockton, but also heads through Kendall County. Let's see if we can drag this little marker over here. Stop giving this option. All right, there we go. So about 40 minutes from his home, 39 minutes roughly, could be a little longer. Oh, come on, there you go. Stop giving me that option. Yeah, so 40 minutes or so from home. I mean, it fits the timeline. Go out, hide her somewhere. You got about half an hour, and then you got to drive back and get back home. It fits. I mean, it could be out here. I mean, that's where he was arrested. Maybe he was out here doing something, covering her up or making sure she hadn't been disturbed or no one had discovered her yet. I mean, it's probably easier to hide somewhere out here than down in the city of San Antonio. You got a lot more open spaces out here, a lot of little dirt tracks and stuff and homestead type places out here. There you go. There's the different locations. Interstate 10 in Olmos Park. In Houston, I mean, in San Antonio this time of year, very quickly. What's the temperature right now? I think DJ told me it was like 80. What did DJ say? Hold on. DJ told me it was 38 degrees. Yeah, here. He said right now it's 100 Fahrenheit. What's the temp? What's the humidity? It's only 14% humidity, but the heat is quite hot. You're looking at 100 Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius with 14% humidity. And that was taken, I don't know, you'd have to ask DJ what time that was. I think it was like 5 o'clock. So it's hot as hell out there, and she's been out here for ages. Yeah, he's meaning Austin. DJ, yes. I'm just saying, like, if it's that hot there, I think it's probably I'm sure San Antonio is not too far away in the heat. So right now they're 27. What's that in Fahrenheit? 81 degrees right now locally. And during the day, it was getting up to 96 degrees at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So quite hot today, even there. So it doesn't matter if it's, Austin, Texas, or San Antonio. It's just hot as balls out there right now. So let's check tomorrow. 96 is your 98 tomorrow is your maximum. 37 degrees Celsius. It is hot. 36 again on Tuesday. You get a bit of a reprieve on Wednesday, down to 28, losing 10 degrees. And it looks like it cools off. From about Wednesday, you're going to stop with this heat wave and it's going to cool off. But if these conditions have been here for a while, let's have a look. Can I go backwards by a week? Can I go back in time? it's not allowing me to go back. But even if you average it out, and well, let's just say it's 87 degrees as an average, or even 85, that's what, 28 degrees? That's still fairly hot. And then later in the week, you've got showers every day. Humidity roughly 41%. So if this is what it's sort of been like over the last couple of weeks, excusing the heat wave over the last couple of days, but that's not going to help either. Quite quickly, that body, unfortunately, we've seen people who have been right now actually in San Antonio, 44% humidity. It's quite a little bit sticky. Let's there was a woman found in Texas a year ago in a car, and she had been there for like a week. Now I know a car's a little bit different because it's sort of like a hot box, because you're not getting any fresh air in there or anything like that. And a car is much slower to react to the temperature changes on the outside of the vehicle than just if you're in the open. But they found her body after about a week in that vehicle in a parking lot, and they said that she was, um, they couldn't tell it was her, that she was quite degraded. So this woman's already been missing for a week. I would be very worried about the state of her remains, just even if it's not humid, just the heat alone. Um, I don't know if it'd be that bad just yet. That takes a couple of weeks. I think if you were down in Houston and you were down closer to the Gulf, that might be true. In a couple of weeks, you might be more less less flesh, less flesh and more like just like clothing and bones and stuff like that. But if it hasn't been super duper humid and there hasn't been a ton of water in the area lately, it may be not that bad. She'll still be very, I mean, she's been out, if she is deceased and she's been out there, then it's not the most ideal circumstance. The ideal circumstance for a body is that you go into a morgue, right? You go into a morgue and you go into the freezer or the fridge. Outside, anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's a car, a shed, in the water, on a riverbank, in a shallow grave, whatever. It's not an ideal condition for a body. So there will be decomp, especially after a week, and especially considering the heat. It's not a humid heat. It's not going to speed up it too much, I don't think. This would be a really good question for the lovely Joseph Scott Morgan. Joseph Scott Morgan, he worked in areas like this. He'd be able to tell you. Maybe ask him, does he have a live show coming up tomorrow? Tell him Ping said I asked this question. Oh, mother effers, hold on. All right, we're back. Sorry, Amazon delivery for Mrs. Ping. Her phone died, and I had to order her a new phone. So she needs a new phone case, a new screen protector. So her phone, she had it for like 5 years and it finally carked it. Finally just stopped working. You know what it started doing? It started dialing random people. She'd be holding it, and all of a sudden, like, her mum would be on the phone going, "Well, darling, why'd you call me? What's wrong?" And she'd be like, "I didn't call you. I'm just at the shops doing shopping." And so the phone was just had it. So we got her a new phone. Got her a new little phone. She'll be very it's not here yet. It's supposed to be here today. Didn't show up. It'll be here tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, still no update. It was supposed to be here today, but yeah, she had it for 5 years. It was my phone, and then I gave it to her. And the reason for that is she's very rough on phones. She's just not a good phone person. So normally I get a phone and then I give her my phone because my phones are pristine. I've had this Note for, I don't know, a long time, and it's fine. Yeah, but this time we got her a brand new phone. Not a brand new one, but a good one. A new Samsung little, what do you call it? It's like a flip one, and you can shut it in half like that. What do they call it? A Z Flip or something. Thank you. I don't know if he's around right now or if he's willing to come on. He might be busy. If not, I'd love to have Joseph Scott Morgan on one night. I just not sure if he'd come on here, but I'd love to talk to him as a someone who's big into um, academia as well. I'm quite educated. I have a lot of education. I'd love to pick his brain for like half an hour. Retired RN, good to see you guys. All right, sorry, let's get back to it now. Sorry about the break in that. There's no more delivery scheduled for today. So there we go. Let me show you that one from last year, and I'll show you what I mean. The woman found. No, it was 2023. If I can find it, I can't remember what her name was, unfortunately. She was found in a car park, found in a car. Her name was Chrissy Powell. She was 39, and she died from overheating in a car after drinking. That's right. It was this lady here, Chrissy Powell. Hadn't been heard from for more than 2 weeks, and her body was found in a car in a small, like, strip mall parking lot. And they said that she died from overheating and she drank quite a lot. And I'm pretty sure I heard that her, so she had hypothermia complicating ethanol intoxication. That's how she died. And she was found in San Antonio. That's why I brought it up. And she was found a little earlier in the year, I think in summer. No, okay, it was September. So only about a month before this particular case. Slightly different. She was found in a car. Cars are like an oven. They trap heat as we're outdoors, are more reactive to how the temperatures and the weather changes throughout the day. This is slightly different, but I remember when they found her, they said that she was in a very bad state of decomposition. Unfortunately, she had a very sad ending to her life. Very, very awful. I wish someone could have been able to get her some more help. They have been appealing for people to call in if you had seen that vehicle in the area, but I hadn't seen if they've got many tips from it. They did put a thing out about Brad. Let me see if I can find it. Suzanne Simpson. Brad. They put a thing out here about his vehicle. Here it is. I'll show you the little video.
Step 4, authorities continue to search for 51-year-old Suzanne Clark Simpson after she was reported missing Sunday night. Olmos Park Police, along with DPS and other agencies, continue to search the area around Simpson's home in the 500 block of East Olmos, where she was last seen. And tonight, her husband, Brad Simpson, is in jail. KENS 5's Meredith Haas joins us live outside the home. Meredith, what are we learning tonight?
Yeah, Audrey, Olmos Park Police, along with other authorities, have had this area blocked off since earlier this morning. Now, earlier, authorities also told us that they would be searching the couple's home. As this investigation continues, Brad Simpson, Susan's husband, sits in the Kendall County Jail on a $2 million bond, facing 2 charges, one including an assault charge. Now, Olmos Park Police say during their investigation with Brad Simpson, he has been, quote, uncooperative. Olmos Park Police Chief also told us there was a fight that turned physical between the couple the same night Suzanne disappeared. Now, between 6 and 9 p.m., they were apparently at the Argyle in Alamo Heights. An arrest warrant states a neighbor witnessed a fight between them, and according to the warrant, the neighbor saw Brad Simpson physically restrain Suzanne, and shortly after, he heard screams in a wooded area near the home. That neighbor said he heard Brad's car drive off an hour later. Then an hour or two after that, he saw Brad returned home.
They had very, very many friends and a lot of family. So many of the people are telling us, that there has been tension in the family, but, that can be very common. So we don't know. We're going by the facts that we have that seem to indicate that an assault occurred that night, Sunday night. Again, we weren't notified until Monday night.
Night by Brad Simpson, and police are also asking that you look for his truck, and at this picture of his truck, it is a black GMC Sierra pickup truck. It's the same car that police say he was driving the night of Suzanne Simpson's disappearance. So they want to see if anyone saw where that truck was going that night. Again, October 6th, Sunday, is when Suzanne Simpson went or had disappeared.
I sympathize with that reporter. As someone who talks on a microphone for 20, 30, 40, 50 hours a week, I get how easy it is to stumble over your own words. So I feel sorry for it, because sometimes you get a mental blank, even though they're words that you know very easily, and then you just forget. You're like, what word is that? Words lose all meaning. Texas Roadrunner says Andre McDonald is in jail for his wife's murder. I don't know that one. Andre McDonald. I'll look it up in a second, but thank you. I just want to check some comments here. Me and Joseph actually follow each other on Twitter. I should reach out to him and, 1, just say hi, and 2, have a chat. DJ says at 4 p.m. today it was 100.9 Fahrenheit, 38.3 degrees in Austin. Far out, it's so hot. Texas said coyotes. Yeah, maybe. It depends where you put it, but sure. There's a wild animal, what we call predation on remains. That happens sometimes. The effect of that is more like predation from animals on human remains. It doesn't help in the forensic analysis of bodies, because it scatters parts of the remains in different areas, meaning you now have a disturbed crime scene. It makes it a little harder, because some of the clues that maybe you could have gathered from a crime scene are no longer there, and it's no longer like a pure crime scene, because you've had this predation from animals. Hey, retired RN, good to see you. My friend Potter was here. Potter, I've literally been wondering if you're all right. I was like, I haven't seen you in 5 months. I hope you're all right. I hope you're doing all right. Potter was very nice and helped fund my new keyboard when my keyboard got soda on it earlier this year. It was very nice, very kind. And this one's okay. No sodas allowed near this one. Danny says DV and been together 22 years. A long time. 4 children, 4 kiddies. Yeah, I'm sure that's what she was trying to say too. Natasha said, Joseph Scott Morgan is incredibly generous with his time and expertise. He would fit right in on this channel. I'll reach out to him. I know he's an extremely busy guy and he has a lot of commitments with other channels. So I understand if he says no, but I will reach out to him. I'll see if he can come on one time. I have a lot of questions, especially about, I want to know more about his academic side as well, not just about like the true crime side. I have a lot of questions about the academic role that he plays because I'm very interested in that. All right. Yeah. A week. 1 week now. She's been out there. They're no closer to finding her, and there's no like real new clues. The article I read from before to start this segment came out an hour ago. It's the latest one from I think they call it Ken's, or DJ always tells me that locals just read the name. They don't say Kens, but it's called Ken's. So they're the one that have been doing a lot on this particular case. By the way, I was watching a new documentary. Someone left a message for me yesterday while I get this next article up. Where's this comment from last night? Some nice person left a comment. Here, it was Kathy Wright. Kathy Wright asked me, what true crime are you listening to or watching these days? You know, I like Killer in My Village. It's one I've been watching quite frequently. I like UK true crime. I don't know why. I just do. I like UK true crime, and I find the way they do things much easier to watch. There's not as much hyping it up and all scary music and stuff like that. But there is a documentary I've been watching out of the USA from Oxygen. Where else? It's called The Hunt for the Chameleon Killer, and it is so interesting. It's about a guy who they think might be a really prolific serial killer. He killed a bunch of women in Florida, killed a bunch of women in Virginia, and he's deceased now, and they're only just figuring out some of the crimes that he did, including killing one of his original families that he had. He killed his wife, he killed the baby, he killed like her other daughter and like all these children, and then he started targeting women. So if you want a good documentary to watch, that is a really good one. I'm not sure what channel it's on. I can tell you. Hold on. What channel is this on? I'm not sure. I get it from because it's only in America. I have to find it from alternative places. So I'm not sure. Oh, AMC. AMC has it. So AMC channel in the US. So if you are wanting to do that, apparently Sundance TV is also showing it. So if you have Sundance or AMC, you can grab it there. It's probably on demand somewhere. Let me see if there's like a Netflix or Amazon. Yeah, where to watch? Oh, Prime Video. So if you're in the US, I think you can watch it on Prime Video. When I search where to watch, it comes up. So if you go to primevideo.com, you should be able to watch. It's only 3 episodes, but very, very interesting. So ah, I hope you're not unwell, my friend. It's very sad. Too many people unwell lately. I heard some very sad stories in my email. So I actually get a lot of emails from people I know that watch my channel, and unfortunately this month has just been really bad for people's health. I've had like we all know Reeby's not feeling so good. She's got some medical issues. I've had some other people contact me saying that they're going through some serious medical stuff. I've had another person who emailed me telling me that they had a death in the family. It's really sad, and I worry about all the people that I know from my channel. So it's I'll be 2 a.m. in the morning. I'll be watching something, and I'll be like, man, I haven't heard from that person in a while. I hope they're okay. So yeah, it's very sad. I hope you feel better soon, um, Potter. I really do. I will tell you this other one before we get on to the next subject. Mr. DJ, Mr. DJ showed me this one, which I don't know how I missed, and this is a case we have done before on this channel. It's Sarah Turney, but that's her sister. She runs a podcast, and is it a YouTube channel? About her sister's disappearance in 2001. Now, her sister went missing almost, 23 years ago, and she's never been located. They believed it was the father, and the father was SAing her. And this is very interesting. In this little document here about this is a documentary here. It's called Family Secrets: The Disappearance of Alyssa Turney. There's a little bit here that caught my eye. There they are as little kids. How cute, right? Wearing Chicago Bulls, uniforms. It's very cute. Where is this little thing here? So her sister says that there was this really weird caption. Where is it? So her dad was also a little weird. He videotaped everything. Their house had security cameras. There was hundreds of tapes that he had taped from inside and outside the home, and they had hundreds of tapes, like those old school VHS type security cameras. They had hundreds of them. I'm just trying to find this little quote. I can't see it. Here. So part of this article says here, the sister read about the allegations of SA included in her sister's case file, and then went back and watched her dad's home movies. She explained in the documentary, in a 1997 video from a family camping trip sampled in the film, Alyssa is heard shouting, "Dad," or "Dad's a pervert." At the time, Sarah thought she didn't it was just a joke or whatever. But when the allegations that their father had been abusing their daughter Alyssa, it sort of almost was like a cry for help, or a small clue as to what was actually going on, but beneath the surface. And she, at first, this sister, and I remember her when I started my true crime journey many years ago. At first, the sister thought the dad was innocent. She was his biggest defender. She'd go to court. She'd talk to CNN. She'd be like, my dad's an angel. He's done nothing ever wrong. And then, as they went through trial and more information came out and she got to listen to the evidence herself, her opinion changed. And she actually now thinks her dad is guilty. And she thinks her father killed her sister, disposed of her remains, all because the sister was starting to speak up about the abuse. She was starting to push back, say no, and be interested in other boys. That was a thing that dad didn't really like. She was starting to get an interest in other, young men, her own age. And her dad was very against that. And yeah, they think that was part of the reason that maybe she was killed, is because her dad had tried it on her again, tried to abuse her again, and she pushed him away. And he, out of a fit of anger, may have killed her over it. I can't say for sure. His case was actually thrown out of court, and it had jeopardy attached to it. So he can never be retried for the same charge ever again. Now they can charge him for other things if they ever find her body, but there's a couple of charges that he can just never be charged with again, because they attach jeopardy to it. So he is walking free for that one. So if you want to watch this, it appeared on the Oxygen Network over the weekend. October 13 was the air date, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's tonight. Maybe it's tonight, Sunday night it's on. Sorry, because I was looking for it last night and I was like, why is it not out yet? And I think it's tonight. Let's see. Here. Family Secrets: The Disappearance of Alyssa Turney premieres Sunday, October 13 at 8 p.m. Eastern on Oxygen Network. An extended version premieres Tuesday, October 15th on Peacock. So if you have Peacock or you have the Oxygen Network, check it out. Family Secrets: The Disappearance of Alyssa Turney. Her case is really, really bizarre. Let's see if we can find a little video for you on her, because this is a case I've followed for years, hoping that they would come up with a solution or find her. Let's see. There's not a ton of media, news station media about her. Her sister has done a lot, but a lot of it is true crime creators like me. Stephanie Harlow's done one on it. London Arts has done one. No, I can't find one, unfortunately. But Dateline did an episode as well last year. I think it's called Since You've Been Gone, something like that. Hold on, let me see if I can. Yes, it is. It's called Since You've Been Gone 20. No, it's not. It's 2020. 2020 did an episode in September 2023, and it's called Since You've Been Gone. So you can watch those two, try and get an understanding of it. Potter says, unless there is new and compelling evidence, maybe. Maybe we can find something on her dad. Give me a second. Yeah, let's see if we can search Michael's name. We just want to see if his full name's in here, so I can just copy it. Michael. There's an old search poster for her. Alyssa Marie Turney. Date of birth, April 3rd, 1984. She was 17. She's my age. Like, we're all almost the exact same age. And I would have been 17 at the same time when she ran away, when she went missing. Let me see. All right. Here's her father after being released from jail.
No, I'm not going to make any comments without Jamie Jackson.
You want to tell us how it feels to be released today?
Pardon me?
How does it feel to be released today?
It doesn't feel good because I lost my family.
Where do you think Alyssa is? And did you play any part in her disappearance?
I'm not going to answer that question. Not till I talk with Jamie Jackson.
Do you think she's still alive?
I hope.
Your attorney said you were concerned about the case. Are you going to keep searching for Alyssa?
I'll never stop looking for my daughter.
Where do you think she went?
Listen, my attorney has been contacted by Dateline and all the other major news. Okay. And if you want to get involved in an interview, work it through Jamie Jackson. Excuse me. Right?
Yeah. Just one question. Your other children testifying against you, what's your message to them now?
I still love them. I'll always love my children.
No matter what?
No matter what. Doesn't change for me. This is all created by the Phoenix PD.
Do you have a message for Sarah, who's fought for years to have Alyssa's case solved?
I love her. She's my daughter.
If Alyssa's out there, any message for her?
Same message I've always tried to give it.
Which is?
I love her.
You want her to come home?
Obviously so.
Yeah.
What are your plans now that you're released?
Would you guys mind turning off the cameras? My son does not want to be on camera.
Yeah, sure.
He's coming to
We
get
appreciate
placed.
it, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was him when he got released from prison after they chucked that case out, saying that the evidence was insufficient and circumstantial to bring such serious charges. I don't know what you think. I'd like to know what you all think about that interview. Started at 11 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Well, bye, Marilyn. I guess she's going to go watch the documentary. I shouldn't tell people about documentaries that are airing during my show. Yeah, they would have to bring something that's like groundbreaking, something that they didn't know beforehand. Like when he was tried before, they would have to bring some sort of evidence that one, they didn't know about before, and two, it changes the complexity of the case and a trial. So you could get a new trial reordered. I don't think it's extremely difficult though. Candy says, in my opinion, he looks like a cornered cat, afraid. Very afraid for a man who just got out of jail. Sounds like Stefan Stearns if she was interested in boys and pushing away the dad's advances. He was very obsessive about Alyssa. Very. Almost treated her like a girlfriend or a wife. It was very strange, their relationship. But it's very interesting that the other sister, the older sister, is it older sister? Is Sarah older? Sorry, I always get those two confused. But she was never touched, and I find that interesting that he had such a. And I mean, it's not uncommon. I've seen it in other cases where one child cops all of the abuse and the other one is treated normally. That happens quite frequently. But yeah, it's a sister never had anything like that happen to her. She's the younger one. Sorry, my dyslexia playing up. I always get like right, and left, and even though I know which one's right and left, but when I speak it, they get switched. Rachel says he looks scared and angry to me. For someone who has a daughter who's been missing since 2001, and he's been the prime suspect throughout that time, you'd think he'd have more to say, especially for a man who just got out of a court case and had the charges dropped. Instead, he's all like, talk to my lawyer, and if you're part of Dateline or whatever. You just looked it up. Well, thank you. So yeah, go watch it. See what Sarah has to say. She's a big part of this new documentary on oxygen. And I've watched a few things from her channel and podcast a few times, and I think all she wants to know is what happened to her sister, and where is she? Like how to bring her home. So I think the Peacock one will be interesting. If they're doing an extended version on Peacock, that's the one I want to see. So I might wait till Tuesday for the Peacock version. Yeah, he didn't say come home, but you know what is weird? Here. In that document that Mr. DJ gave me, where is it? Apparently he said something very weird to the other daughter. And he said something like, on my deathbed, tell Alyssa to come and see me or something like that. It was like a weird, very strange wording of that sentence. Let me see if I can find the quote. No, I don't see it. Here, where is it? No, it is in this article somewhere, but yeah, he said something weird like that, like, tell Alyssa to come and see me on my deathbed. Something like that. It's a weird, strange thing to say. They tried to set him up for years. She even wore a wire to go and visit him, trying to get a confession out of him, but he never gave one. Yeah, it was in here. I read this earlier. Yeah, I don't see it. If I find it, I'll show it to you, but it's in this article. Here, I'll post this article in the chat that DJ gave me. And if you want to read it, you can. It's in there somewhere. It's a very long article. Yeah, give it a watch. I think it'll be interesting. Her case, Alyssa and is it Tara Calico? Those two bugged me for years, especially Tara's. Yeah, Tara's case, man. Did they arrested someone over it, right? Not long ago? Or is Ping misremembering? Did they arrest someone over? Yeah, they did, right? Last year, the Valencia County Sheriff's Office announced a breakthrough in the 1988 disappearance. They say the sheriff, Denise Vigil, and other law enforcement officers spoke at a press conference regarding the Calico case. At this time, law enforcement believes there is sufficient evidence to submit this investigation to the District Attorney's Office for review of potential charges. They say currently the identities and the specifics of the persons of interest are sealed by the court and will remain so until a court order otherwise. Interesting, right? This case is, I swear it has to be someone that was local. It has to be someone that would be in the area at that time of day. It's not someone passing through. It's someone who lives in the town, possibly still lives there. And if you don't know this case, it's the one where these weird photos came out like this. And they had like the FBI and Scotland Yard try and verify if it was her. Her mother believed it was her. I sort of believe this is her, but I don't know. I'm crazy. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well as well. Thank you for your nice comment. See what he had to say then as a confession. Yeah, it's in that confession bit, right? I think I closed the link because we always have like 50 links open. Let's see. Yeah, that's what he said. They say here, by the time Michael was released early from prison in 2017, Sarah fully believed in his guilt and had told police she'd do anything to help put him away. She recorded a conversation she had with her dad at a coffee shop in which he denied killing or molesting Alyssa, but she interpreted a comment he made, challenging Sarah to come to his deathbed and see what he had to say then. And she took it as a confession. It is a weird thing to say. So you're telling your daughter who has been missing for 20 years to come to your deathbed and see what he has to say. It's almost like saying, tell her ghost to come to my deathbed, and then I will tell her, like, then I'll admit to it or something, or then I'll admit it to her. Bro, she's been dead for 30 years. I don't even know if she ever wants to visit your ass, even as a ghost. Yeah, so weird, very weird thing to say. He's very closeted. He doesn't give much away, and he's just a bit of a weirdo. Especially with those videotapes and the family photos and the security cameras and this and that. Very paranoid individual. But yeah, go watch that show. That'll be good. Have we ever got an update about Tara Calico and that DA investigation? I remember when that happened last year, but did anything happen? It's been over a year and nothing. Not surprising. Not surprising. This was back when they submitted the evidence for it, but yeah, no, nothing since then. They say here, to protect the integrity of the investigation, information is limited. According to Vigil, they will reveal in due time. I can't guarantee that we're all going to be here next Sunday. When the hell are you going to tell anyone? Like, it's already been a year and a half. How long does it take for the district attorney to review the case file? How in depth is it? Does he need a team of 50 people? Like, what is going on? You make this big announcement that you solved one of the biggest mysteries in your town, and then you're like, whoa, hold on. But we can't tell you anything. And we don't know when we can tell you anything. It could be 25 years from now. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I want the people caught too. Please, I mean, if that's the price we have to pay to make sure someone is convicted over her disappearance and murder, yeah, sure, I get it. But at the same time, you're the one who called the press conference, not us. So you called the press conference to say what exactly? We have a file. Yes, we have a file. And then somebody goes, what are you going to do with it? We're going to give it to the district attorney. And then what? Well, we don't know. Well, when will we find out? Well, we don't know that either. Can we ask you any questions? No, you can't ask any questions. Drives me batty when they do that. Here we go. I'll play the video for you.
A major update in the Tara Calico cold case.
With very little resources, law enforcement has never given up, but here we are today as I stand before you and confident of the findings in this case.
Investigators believe new evidence found is one step closer to an unsolved mystery.
There is sufficient evidence to submit this investigation to the district attorney's office for review.
19-year-old Tara Calico vanished in 1988.
Tara left to ride her regular bike route and told her family she would be home by lunch.
But Calico never returned, her mother alerting officials.
Neither Tara nor her bike were ever located.
35 years later, the names of any persons of interest now sealed by the courts.
The people responsible will soon have to answer to this family and to the community who has never stopped thinking of Tara.
To protect integrity of the investigation, police say information is limited, but they will reveal in due time.
We know there have been numerous theories about what happened to Tara, but rest assured, investigators have followed up on all theories, leads, and tips. When we can share case updates or information, we will do so.
There you go. There you go. Austin King, yeah, no update about him, although we did read the letter out last night about Austin. Haven't heard anything else besides that. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, just yeah, no update, although the New York Post is reporting a new search effort. No. That can't be right. No, that can't be right. They've wound down the search. That's very strange. They're saying here, Yellowstone launches aerial search after worker Austin King vanishes on hike. This must be wrong. Let me check the Yellowstone page. Hold on. As far as I knew, they wound it down. No, I don't see anything about a new search effort for Austin. I knew it was wound down and then they made it a recovery mission. It's no longer a rescue mission. They believe he is deceased. So I don't know what the hell's going on with this article. I know that, yeah, his dad is trying to privately fund a search effort for his son, and they are using a GoFundMe account to try and fundraise. fundraise for that. Let's see. Austin King. Oh, there's poor houses. Yeah, Austin King, Brian King Henke. All right. GoFundMe. So far they've raised $11,440 out of their $10,000 goal to continue searching for Austin and bring him back home. That is very kind of the people to donate to them. Maybe that's where the search effort is coming from, because yeah. And Yellowstone said they would not provide any more updates until he was found. No more play-by-play kind of updates about Austin. Let's see. There was also another GoFundMe I wanted to talk about today. We're going to talk about Jessica Barnes for a little bit. Jessica Barnes's family is appealing for donations to support the mum. The mum wants to be able to go to court and help drive her daughter's case, but she works as an Uber driver, and it takes up a lot of her time. So she was asking for monetary donations to help her just work for her daughter's justice. Sort of like go to court sessions and find more legal help and things like that. Even though she will be appointed her own legal representative by the court, I'm pretty sure. They're saying here, Jessica was a bright and compassionate young woman with a beautiful spirit and endless potential. She had dreams, aspirations, and a profound love for her family and friends. Tragically, her life was cut short on August 2nd, leaving her family devastated and overwhelmed. And they say the GoFundMe is to help ease the financial strain on Jessica's family during this challenging time. And then I read something else. All right, hold on. There was a different one. It's not listed here, but on a different page here, Huffington Post. They came out with an article today or a couple of days ago saying, woman caught husband cheating with roommates before disappearing. Now, we had heard this kind of stuff before. We already know that Brandon had a child to his roommate, one of the women arrested in helping him cover up the murder. He'd had a child with her. Then he met Jessica and married Jessica after he'd already obtained a marriage license to this other woman. And then we read here, they say Jessica Barnes loved children and was studying to become a teacher at a technical college near her home in Pendleton, South Carolina. But when the 20-year-old started dating Brandon Barnes, 21, her life turned upside down. After she married him and moved in with him and his two roommates, I'm going to say roommates like this, roommates, she lost her job at a diner and left college and became distant from her large, close-knit Romanian family. Then shortly after, her family says she discovered her husband having sex with one roommate, and then she disappeared. On October 2nd, Brandon Barnes was charged with Jessica's murder, while roommates Kendall Mims and Victoria Tippett, both 20, are accused of aiding him. According to police, after Brandon strangled his wife on August 2nd, Mims and Tippett helped him conceal her death and moved her body to a wooded area miles away, where it was found on September 20. In an interview with Huffington Post, Troy Stiles of Blunt Force Media, who is acting as a spokesperson for Jessica's family, revealed new details about her relationship with Brandon and the warning signs her mother saw as a fellow DV survivor. Hold on, guys. Who's messaging me? Yeah. They say here, there's actually a thing that Jessica wrote in her Bible, and it listed off, like, I don't know, 20 things that she was willing to give to Brandon. And at the end, it listed one thing that she wanted back, and it was just to be loved. Her family described her as bubbly and very creative. There's a photo of Jessica there. It says here, Jessica and Brandon met after they matched on Tinder And though he presented himself in a variety of ways on dating apps, he had a pattern of choosing Christian girls. Stiles said Brandon would talk about God, giving them an expectation of safety. But Jessica's family members said he was abusive and would leave Jessica bruised. Stiles said her mother objected to the relationship, but eventually she moved in with him. At the time, Jessica believed Mims was Brandon's sister, but in reality, she was someone Brandon had previously had a sexual relationship with. Records in Anderson County Probate Court revealed Brandon married Mims in July 2023, just months before he married Jessica in January of the following year. Crosby told independent news outlet Fitz News, who never got back to me about our interview, but thanks for that, Fitz News, that Brandon and Mims were never divorced and that the agency does not plan to pursue bigamy charges due to the weight of the other more serious charges on file already. Guys, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. It was Mrs. Ping. They're saying here that Jessica learned the truth of her husband's relationship with Mims when Mims gave birth to his child, according to Stiles. Along with Tippett, the three lived together in a 1,100 foot square pool house on Brandon Barr's grandfather's property. Stiles said Jessica's family was desperate to keep their relationship with her, but they mostly communicated only via text message. Jessica would ask her mother for encouragement and prayer because she wanted to be a devoted wife to Brandon. In March 2024, Jessica had a stillbirth, but she remained in the relationship because she still hoped to build a family around Brandon and, as a Christian, to save him and their roommates. She would stay home to take care of Mim's child while her husband and her roommates worked. But on July 31st, she caught her husband having sex with Tippett, and she decided to leave the relationship. Brandon dropped her off at her mother's home but was vile towards his wife's family, and they called police for assistance. When officers arrived, they found Jessica having a panic episode, and first responders took her to hospital. The next day, Barnes caught up with her, and after picking up some items at the mother's house, took her back to the pool house. Police said Brandon Barnes strangled Jessica to death on August 2nd, just days later from the original incident. According to arrest warrants obtained by Huffington Post, both Mims and Tippett allegedly helped cover up the killing, and Stiles said her family received text messages from her phone that they didn't believe were written by her. On September 10th, her mother reported her missing after her phone was disconnected. As her family members posted missing flyers and organized a prayer vigil, Stiles interviewed Brandon, who at that point had not been named a suspect. In the video, Brandon says he believes Jessica would still return home, and he said, "I would tell her how much I love her, and I wish I never went to work every day and ignored her," when he was asked what type of message he would give to her. In arrest warrants, police said Brandon Barnes, Mims, and Tippett confessed after being read their Miranda rights. A spokesperson for the South Carolina Commission of Indigent Defense told Huffington Post their office has opened cases for Brandon Barnes and Tippett, but the two have not been assigned attorneys. It's unclear if Mims has an attorney representing her. They were ordered held without bond as they await their next court dates. Meanwhile, Jessica's mother has launched a fundraiser to allow her to take time off from her job as an Uber driver to be in the courtroom and seek justice for her daughter. So yeah, that's where I got she's trying to raise a bit of money to be able to attend court every day and not go to her job. So we know a little bit more now. This was never a polyamorous or polygamy type thing. This was just a controlling male who used women, used their vulnerabilities against them to control them. And that's exactly what he did. And he was playing hide the fiddlestick with all of them. Jessica, Tippett, Mims, all of them were getting a bit of his dipstick, apparently. They were all, you know, they were all having their honeypots raided, apparently. Yeah, very, very nasty. He was a nasty piece of work, that guy. Give me 1 second. I have to reply to a message. One moment. All right, there we go. All right. I have to use code words. I can't be like he was, something with a P word and something. I can't do that. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Good to see you. It's nice to see your name in the chat. Yeah, very nasty individual. Yeah, very nasty individual. Really, I don't think he cared about these women at all, and killed her when when the control over her was finally lost, when her trust finally shredded to pieces after the crazy abuse that she took. The last straw was catching him in the act with the roommate who's supposed to be sister or sister wife or whatever, and she was having none of it, and she tried to leave the relationship. And what do we say is like the two most dangerous times for a woman in life? Leaving a relationship and if she's pregnant. And unfortunately for this young woman, she was trying to leave a very controlling and abusive relationship from a guy who basically made his own harem. That's what he did. He made his own harem. He's like, "Hey, I want to have a roster of women and I'm going to control all of them. I gave a baby to one, I'm trying to give a baby to another, and I'll probably give a baby to the third one eventually." That's all it seems like. I don't think these women, except for the other two, sort of knew what was going on. I don't think Jessica knew. I think she had suspicions, but then she finally caught them. The other two were just as conniving and cunning as he was, because they lied saying that, oh, they were his sister and it was his sister's baby and blah blah blah, the whole time when it was his child that he'd had with her. And very sad for Jessica. Before her life was tragically taken, she never got to give birth to that baby, unfortunately, that she desperately wanted. Her baby died earlier this year in March 2024, and she had that stillbirth, which she would have been devastated over. With uh, reporting on what? I'm not even sure what you're talking about. You mean Lori Lauren with Hidden True Crime is going to go to this particular case? Odd, since I don't. Had she ever covered it, or she just wants to go there? I didn't even know she was doing this case. Not many people picked up this particular case. It was hyper local. So, the Delphi case. Oh, okay. I don't. That case is such a freaking. It's just a terrible. It's a mess. The whole thing. It's going to end in tears. It's all right. Yeah, it's got a lot of issues, unfortunately. Yeah, it's completely messed up. That trial, if they get a conviction out of it, I reckon there'll be an instant appeal. They've done so many weird things, like they added the kidnapping charges earlier this year. So if they fail on the murder charges, they can just find him guilty of kidnapping. Well, then who killed them? It's really bizarre. It's almost like they don't believe in their evidence. So if you believed in your evidence, you would just go straight for the murder one. Why would you do all this kind of like, oh, let's add kidnapping charges as a fallback type of charge? I don't really get that. Like, we all want someone responsible to be held responsible for Abby and Libby, right? We want someone in jail, we want someone to serve their time and to be taken away from society, but I don't know, this whole thing has just been such a mess. Okay. I don't know, I've heard rumors that that's why they changed the charges, because they think it's possible that he had help, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I think the whole thing's really weird. I think the whole thing with that other guy that had the naked photos of all the little girls and, like, how did he really come into this, and was he really picked up just because of the investigation? It's all very, very strange. It's all very, very odd. I mean, then we had the leaking of the photos and the runes and, oh, it's Odinism, and there's people in the prison that are trying to kill him and blah, blah, blah. Ugh, it's just such a mess of a trial. If they get a conviction out of this, I guarantee you there'll be an instant appeal. Keegan Kline, right, that guy, that weirdo. That guy that seems to have some fascination with preteen children touching themselves, apparently. What a freaking weirdo. Never understand that. Never understood the attraction to, like, little kids or whatever. I think it's just bizarre. It's, like, so foreign to me. Give me some grown woman any day that's knows what she's doing. I'd like that any day of the week. Gambler says Keegan is on the defense witness list. Oh, jeez. What did he do? Turn state witness to get his reduction in his own charges or something? That'll be interesting. Am I going to do any of the case? I don't know, guys. There's going to be so many channels doing it. Like, it gets so saturated on YouTube. I think, like, what's the point? You guys are all going to go, like, a lot of you will go watch a lot of the bigger channels who are doing live coverage throughout the day. And by the time I get on at 9 o'clock, like, what's the point? Like, I feel like I'm just rehashing stuff and boring people. I try and bring cases where it's interesting. Too challenging to get a grown woman? I like the challenge. Give me the challenge. Actually, I don't think I've ever found it that challenging, but sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll probably give you updates of what happened in court, but I'm not going to be doing any, like, 3.5-hour live streams showing you every moment or whatever. The case is challenging. Yeah, it's going to be a hard. I think they'll get a conviction. I don't know if it'll be for the murder charges. I wonder if it'll be for the kidnapping. Even then, they're going to throw the book at him for, you know, if they fail on that and that he gets that, he'll get whatever the maximum is. We'll see. But I think there'll be an instant appeal. I think wherever this goes, there's been so many plot holes and errors and misjudgments that there's a good chance that they'll be able to find a technicality. Nothing right now. The mushroom case went through their initial set of hearings. A lot of them weren't public, all reported on, and they're sort of just groundwork for the trial next year. Like calling a few witnesses and who's giving evidence for this, and what police officers are going to need X, Y, and Z, what lawyers are going to need blah, blah, blah. It's pretty boring and vanilla type stuff. She'll go to trial early next year in April in the courthouse in the country, apparently, and we'll be there for it. We are going to trial next year. Rain, hail, or shine, I will be in the courtroom to see her in her trial. I'm going. I don't care if I have to camp out in front of the courthouse. and do a live stream like the Johnny Depp trial from the waiting list. But I will be there next year because I started this case with the mushroom trial. I was the only channel that reported on it when it happened, and I'm going to see it through to the end. Whatever the end is, we're going to be there for it. So we're going to trial in Australia. It'll be very interesting. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, we're heading out to not Leongatha, but we're heading to Erin Patterson. Yeah, there's been no update since August, which was when she had that first public hearing in the Supreme Court, and they set a trial date. So, oh my God, now the Daily Mail has a new podcast on it. Ridiculous. Like every paper down here has started a podcast on the mushroom murders. Half of them didn't even follow it when it came out. They've jumped on it at the last minute. How gross. How gross. But hey, that's the media for you. Yes, if you don't know that case and you're a newer viewer of this channel, let me play you an old video from the ABC. Actually, let's watch the one from the Australian, the interview. I love this interview. This is just days later after she allegedly poisoned her loved ones, and two of them already died in hospital, and the third one is fighting for life. So here we go.
Tragedy, what's happened?
Can you tell us about the meal that you cooked?
I'm so devastated by what's happened, by the loss of Don. Don is still in hospital. The loss of Ian and Heather and Gail. They were some of the best people that I've ever met. Gail was like...
Take your time.
Gail was the mum that I didn't have because my mum passed away 4 years ago. And Gail's never been anything but good and kind.
If I was allowed to swear, I'd be like, B word. What's your mum dying 4 years ago got to anything to do with, like, the mushroom poisoning? The hell's that got to do with anything? Very, making it all about you. Yes, fake crying and the touching of the eyes and the fake wailing and the it's such an act. And when I saw this video, when this video came out, and my channel was very young then, I had 30 subscribers at the time. I was like, she's guilty. I was like, I knew straight away the mannerisms in this video, and I just said that as, a turn of phrase. I didn't know who she was. I just went, oh my God, it's something wrong here. The acting in this video is astounding. It is just, I've seen this in other murder cases where people try and act upset, and they try to give the media what they think in their head is what a grieving person should look like, right? Someone who is very sad about what's happened. So let's keep watching. But watch her keep touching her eyes and wiping away fake tears. And watch at the end how fast her attitude changes. Watch how fast, for someone who's so devastated, watch how fast she gets angry.
To me. And Ian and Heather were some of the best people I've ever met. They never did anything wrong to me, and I'm so devastated about what's happened.
Can you tell us
and the loss to the community and to the families and to my own children who've lost their grandmother.
Can you tell us a bit more about the lunch?
What I can tell you is that I just can't fathom what has happened. I just can't fathom what has happened. That Ian and Heather have lost their lives, and Gail has lost her life, and Donna's still in hospital, and I pray that he pulls through because my children love him.
And you must be pretty shaken up by this as well.
I'm devastated. I love them. And I can't believe that this has happened, and I'm so sorry that they have lost their lives.
Woman, who are you looking at? Who's up there? Is it God? Is God talking to you? Because who's up there? The guy's in front of you. Why do you keep looking up? Who's up there? Possum? Batman. Is Batman up there? Is he telling you telepathically what to say? Because who are you looking at? Like, look, watch, right back here. Look, who's she looking at? Who's up there? Is it Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Is he interviewing you because he's 7 foot tall? Is that who it is? Are you looking at the moon and the stars during the daytime? Like, why are you looking up like that?
I can't believe that this has happened, and I'm so sorry that they have lost their lives.
How are you
I
kids?
just can't believe it. Just can't believe it.
Can you tell us where the mushrooms came from?
I love the wiping of the fake tears. The fake tears, like, she looks at her hands like, "Oh my god, they're dry. Are they supposed to be dry? Like, what is going on here?" And she does it throughout the whole thing. She constantly touches her eyes. I love it. Look here.
Can you tell us where the mushrooms came from?
We'll go back a bit.
How are you
I
kids?
just can't believe it. Just can't believe it.
Can you
What are you wiping away? Dust? Sleep in your eyes. Did you have a nap? Is that what's going on? Ain't no tears coming out of your face. You ain't been crying at all. You can tell when a woman's been crying, right? I can tell from a football field away when a woman has been crying. It's so obvious, and girls get, they get that look, and you can tell. This woman hasn't cried in 48 years. She's never cried. She's like, her eyes are made of stone. Maybe she cried about herself. Oh my god, I got caught.
tell us where the mushrooms came from?
What is she cackling? She sounds like a witch. Is it Halloween? What's with this weird cackle?
From?
You sound like a hen who's trying to lay an egg. Oh, 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 oh. That's exactly what you sound like.
Were they picked from the property area?
I just ask you to leave me alone now, please.
Police say you're a suspect. Do you have anything to say about
Yes,
that?
I say I didn't do anything. I love them. And I'm devastated that they're gone. And I hope with every fibre of my being that Don pulls through. That's
Where
what I
did the
have to
mushrooms
say.
come from? Were they picked by you, or where did they come from, Mary? Can you tell us? What meal did you cook them? Did you eat the same meal, Mary?
They didn't show you all of it. There's another bit where she like gets real angry at them. It's been edited out, but like the thing I notice is like the fake over emotions, the wiping away tears that are not there, and the avoidance of any responsibility or questions. She didn't answer one of those guys. That guy asked her like 50 questions, and she didn't answer any of them. He even asked her like, "What did the mushrooms taste like?" And she didn't answer. "Where'd you get them from?" She didn't answer. The only time she has ever given a glimpse into the public of what happened is that statement she tried to pass off through her lawyers. And even the police fired back and clapped back at her and said, "That is not a statement to police. You must come in and be recorded on our equipment speaking, not just a written statement. You're not a Hollywood superstar. You have to come in and be interviewed by our detectives. You can't just release a statement and hope to walk free." So I am so invested in this. I cannot wait to go to trial and see how this is going to play out. Casper says mushrooms are extremely regulated in the US. Yes, the commercial ones. So about that, when all this was going down and they were trying to figure out where these mushrooms came from, they asked Erin, "Where did you get these mushrooms?" And at first, she tried to say she got them from the local supermarket down the road, but they don't sell wild mushrooms. they only sell like, Swiss brown mushrooms or button mushrooms, the ones you make pasta with. They only sell those. And then that could have destroyed a billion-dollar industry overnight if they had to shut down and then destroy all these mushrooms to search for a poison mushroom that's not there. Then she tried to say it was an Asian grocer in Melbourne. So she tried to single out an entire, subset of our population, Asian people, and tried to say that they poisoned her family. She's a real nasty piece of work. Yet alone the fact that she is being charged with 5 counts of attempted murder. Some of those are because she allegedly tried to kill her husband the year before, to the point where he ended up in hospital in a friggin' in a coma because they didn't know what was wrong with him. He had like really bad stomach issues. Yeah, there was a bit of mushroom fear. A person who actually sold wild mushrooms said their business went down like 80% for about half a year. Cake Smooth says, "Are you going to attend?" Yes, we're going to trial. I'll be going to trial for this particular case. It's next year in April, and we're actually staying in the area where we're going to hire an Airbnb, and we're going to be in the area for about a month, I think, 2 weeks to a month. We're not sure yet, but we're looking for an Airbnb near to the courthouse, and I'll be at court every day. 8 a.m. in the morning, I'll be at court. And then the only issue is for you guys, it's going to be very late at night by the time I get on to tell you anything because I can't stream for the courthouse. So right now it's 3 p.m. in the afternoon Australian time, right? It's probably going to be around now or maybe an hour from now by the time I get out of court, get back to the Airbnb, look at my notes, and get on live. So it's going to be a very late show each day. So I hope my West Coast people are up for it, but my East Coast people, unless you're a night owl, you may have to catch it on the replay in the morning. But I'll try and go live as much as I can if we have any breaks for lunch or we have any moments, stuff like that. No, we're not taking the cats. No. Mrs. Ping is staying here. It's just me. I'm going to the courthouse on my own. Morwell. Yeah, no, it's Latrobe Valley. Latrobe Valley. I know it's Morwell is the area, but it's Latrobe Valley that is the courthouse. Yeah, no, the cats are not going. Pig gang territory. It'll be interesting, but the quote alone was like it's like $4,000 for the Airbnb. She'll be up there sometimes, but she's not staying. She'll be coming to pick me up and then take me back to the city, but she may stay on and off, but she won't be there the entire time. She's got stuff she has to get done. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. Thanks for dropping in. I really appreciate it. Haven't seen my friend Christine in a while. I hope she's doing well with her channel too. By the way, I want to thank, we had a donation come in while I was showing you all that from much earlier in the show, actually. My friend Robbie. Robbie, thank you so much. That is very, very kind of you. I will add your name to the new ending video for you. So each week, I'm not updating it every night anymore, but I am updating it weekly now. So I don't have to go mental. Jaden Lesky, yeah. That's a very old case. All right, I think we're just about done for the night. No, are we done for the night? What time is it? We might be done. I think we've been on for about an hour and 40 minutes. I just don't want to go too late on a Sunday because so many people have work and, they have to be up early Monday morning. So we tend to do a later show on Monday evening. Only 5. Okay. All right. Let me see. Before we go, I want to check out one story. Hold on. Thank you, Candy. All right. All right, 1 minute. I just want to check out one story, the DET story, the one about the guy who died after he was killed by a DET worker or fake DET. Hold on. Pretty sure his name was Hussein. Let's see, DET worker. So it was Rochester Hills in Detroit. I know they caught one of them. They caught the large man in the video that's holding the clipboard. But I wanted to see if they had found the other guy. It doesn't seem so, unfortunately. It seems like that guy is still on the run. Here, let's go to KTVZ. What are they saying? They say 2 suspects claiming to be DTE workers killed a homeowner and restrained his wife with duct tape at a home in Rochester Hills on Friday. And I know they were searching for... They were searching for one guy and they caught him in Louisiana. But I don't know if they ever caught the second guy. Here, let me check a different way. The Daily Mail just picked up the story. So yeah, Hussein Murray, 72 of Rochester Hills, 25 miles outside of Detroit, was killed Friday after 2 people posing as DTE employees actually came over on late Thursday night, knocked on his door and said they were looking for a gas leak. He actually sent them away and they came back the next day. They ended up going down into the basement where the gas was and he was killed. His wife was upstairs and they tied her up. She was actually able to get undone and call 911, and she was the one who raised the alarm. Here's the person here, Hussein Murray, 72. He was the victim who was shot and killed. And here's that guy that was holding the clipboard in that video. That's the guy that was arrested in Shreveport, Louisiana. His name is Carlos Jose Hernandez. He's 37 of Dearborn. He was arrested on Saturday after authorities located him on I-49 at LA Highway 169 in Louisiana. So they were able to track him down. There's him in the video right there.
Or DTE. We're checking for gas leaks.
That was him, but so far nothing about the other guy. Here's the victim here. He was a pawnbroker and owned a pawnbroking business. But I don't see anything about what they're calling the skinny black man who's in the back of this photo. You can only just see him. He's in the back here behind the bigger fella. Sounds like they're still searching for his accomplice. Yeah, if you guys can see, there's a guy standing behind him with his back turned to the camera. I'll mute it so you don't have to hear it, but there's a guy behind his shoulder here wearing another vest. They have not located him yet, though. Brutal crime, really brutal. There's the guy they picked up. Hey, Anna. Good to see you, my sweet friend. Hey, Monica. You are able to catch her live. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you. Nice to see everyone out and about tonight. It must be all the nice weather. Maybe he was the ringleader. So far, no name or picture of the second guy they're looking for. Nothing yet. I have not seen them even reference who he might be. Right? And then they were taking the male of the household, so the 72-year-old Hussein, was taken to the basement and they killed him. And his wife was taken upstairs where they tied her up. She thought her husband had been kidnapped but unfortunately, he'd been killed in the basement, and she had to learn that her husband was no longer alive. It's very, very sad. 72 years. I think they had like 50 years of marriage or something. There's him with his son, with one grandson, a grandson. There you go. Very, very sad. And but no, nothing about the second fella. I don't see anything about, no photo, no ring doorbell of him. Yeah. The second suspect is still at large as authorities have asked the public to help identify him. Yeah, sure, if you gave us something that we could work with. Instead, you gave us a guy this guy standing in front of a ring doorbell and the other guy hiding behind him. I'm not sure who we're supposed to look for. You know, you have to give us something. But so yeah, no update about that, unfortunately. Nothing on that one tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Hey, I want to thank Danny again for giving away the membership earlier tonight. And I want to thank my friend Robbie for the donation to the PayPal. I really appreciate it. You guys are very kind. We don't know. Maybe robbery. I'd say it was probably robbery. There were items missing from the home. Yeah, I think we all have some choice words for them. Penguin. Penguin, I'm gonna go in a minute. Go to bed. It's gonna be Monday morning soon. That's right. That's what they need to do, Candy. All right. Hey, I love you very much. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern for the early show, back on our normal weekday routine. And then we'll have the late show at midnight Eastern, 4 nights a week, Monday to Thursday every week. And then the weekends are just one show. I will see you. I will see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Good night, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for liking and subscribing on this video. The only way we can make the channel bigger is if you click that subscribe button. It's the only way it happens. It doesn't happen by itself. Ain't no one else going to click it. So I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye. Bye-bye. Look for your name in the video in a second.